On this episode, we have none other than Matt Farah from the Smoking Tire and his 1988 Lamborghini Countach. It's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV. If you were a child of the 80s, you know this car. It was featured on Miami Vice, starred in a Pepsi commercial with Cindy Crawford, and was basically the poster child for excess in the 1980s. And when I say poster child, it was literally on posters. Almost every other kid in America had this poster, or this one, or even this one. One of those kids with a poster on their wall grew up to be this guy, Matt Farah, writer for Road and Track and host of The Smoking Tire. In 2018, he had a chance to buy a Countach, and it was an opportunity he just couldn't pass up. This is the car he bought, a 1988 Lamborghini Countach 5000 Quattro Valvole with 18,000 miles on the clock. As the fastest member of the Countach family, it's loaded with a longitudinally mounted 5.2-liter V12, putting down a stock 420 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 369 pound-feet of torque.
This car also has a couple of small period modifications on it. So the first owner, first off, there's two options for an 88. One is the wing, which this car has.
Gotta have the wing.
Gotta have the wing. And two is the Alpine CD player. First CD player ever in a production car. It was $9,000. The wing was $5,000. The sticker price of this car in '87 was like $124,000, which is the equivalent of about $325,000 today. Oh yeah, it has some period mods, which are very cool. It has the Escort Fuzzbuster radar detector built into the dash.
Does that actually work?
Work is a relative term. When I bought the car, it was wired up, and it turned on and made chirping noises, and I unwired it because I didn't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
But it does something. I mean, it does turn on. We've also got the exhaust. One of the reasons this car, it sounds a little different from other Countaches that I've heard, specifically like on the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
Harry Metcalf's Countach.
Yeah.
Sounds way different than this one. His has the stock Lambo Sport exhaust. This has an Albertoni exhaust. So Albertoni was a Lamborghini tuner in the 80s and 90s. And this company might even still be around. I don't even know. Mainly Countaches and Diablos. So this has a Bertoni exhaust on it. And I have the stock exhaust in my house.
I was going to ask if this affected the value not having the original.
No, I have it. I have it. Yeah.
Okay.
If I ever wanted to put it on, I could put it back on. I don't drive this car the way I would drive a Performante.
Right. You don't do like a.
I'm not exploring the limits of the car.
Right.
I'm more than happy going out on the open sweepery type canyons and having, a beautiful 6/10 drive. It's good for this.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's got a good motor. And from 60 to 120, it's really good.
Yeah. How fast have you gotten it up to?
I think maybe 120 or so. I haven't gone that fast in it, but that's mainly because I haven't driven it far enough outside of town.
Where would you go faster?
Yeah, I haven't driven it far enough outside of town to actually
Texas
drive.
mile runs.
No. If the car has a weak link, I mean, obviously it's expensive to maintain and that kind of thing, but if it has a weak link, the brakes aren't great.
Oh, okay.
And so I really am wary about pushing the limits of the brakes more than anything else.
Do they overheat or?
They're just small. I mean,
just
they're not that big, and they're meant. They're off a 911, so
right.
When you've got a car that is 200 pounds heavier than a 911 and can go quite a bit faster, you know, you just sort of, I have less confidence with them. That's all.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're not like bad.
Yeah,
but I'm just not.
You're not driving 10/10 anyway.
To me, this isn't a hard charging car.
The incredible aluminum bodywork was designed by none other than Marcello Gandini at Bertone. Wrapped around a tubular steel frame, it has more in common with race cars of the era than with anything mass-produced. This design also makes it relatively light at only 3,200 pounds. The now trademark scissor doors were a production first on the Countach. And if you see me in the next few videos with a bandage on my finger, yeah, it was thanks to those very doors. Bit my finger right off. The interior is wrapped in leather, even the dash. Gauges are individually placed in front of the driver. The seating position is remarkably low in the Countach, but still quite comfortable. In fact, we were so low, our eyes were level with other cars' license plates. And forget about going through a drive-thru with those windows. This isn't a practical car. It's ridiculous, kind of noisy, and flamboyant in a way that is patently a product of the 1980s.
You just don't see this car.
Well, they only built 2,000 Countaches.
In the gold, the wing, I mean, it's just like...
Well, if you play the Barrett Jackson, numbers game, right, and you really try and sell it,
yeah,
there's only like maybe 10 cars ever made that look like this one.
Right. I mean, so does like everybody stop and look at you in this car?
Yes.
Honks, high fives.
Yes. You
do a burnout.
You pretty much shut down any scene.
Yeah.
Like wherever you're at, you're the star.
Yeah.
And I try and push as much of that onto the car and off of me as I can. I have made arrivals in crowds of Lamborghini owners, and even in a crowd of Lamborghini owners, seeing this car is extraordinary.
Yeah.
And I think it, I think it's always gotten its share of credit for being what it is, but I think now that the 80s are really coming into their own, I think the wing cars, I think the anniversary cars, I'm not sure they'll ever get there. I find the anniversary cars ugly, but I think certainly the wing cars are really coming into their own from an appreciation perspective, and I think it's a little more drivable than most people think. If you start, I mean, look, there's no reason we couldn't continue this drive to Monterey right now.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly comfortable in this seat. Its support is great.
It's actually like kind of a decent touring car.
Yeah, I'm lacking headroom. That's my only thing. I'm kind of pivoting on the ceiling.
Yeah, my head brushes, but it's got air conditioning. Uh-oh. That's me not paying attention. It has the elements of being a good touring car,
Yeah. But like you're saying, I mean, we're just cruising along. It's easy just to miss your turn because it's like you're comfortable. You're not like, when am I going to get out of this thing, right?
No, yeah. Look, I told you, it might have been before we rolled cameras, but I told you I've driven all the new Lambos.
Yeah.
And to me, this is more comfortable than them. I mean, the passenger compartment space has not increased.
Yeah. So you'll eventually sell this one, you think?
Every single time I have dared open my mouth and say that I'll keep a car forever, it's bitten me in the ass. So I'm not saying that.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
The current NADA guide shows a retail value of a 1988 Countach 5000 to be about $500,000. For this same amount of money, you could easily buy 2 loaded Acura NSXs, plus enough tires to track them every weekend for a year. But a car like this isn't about the money, so that kind of math really doesn't matter. For Matt, it was clear that owning this car is about fulfilling a childhood dream and sharing that dream with the next generation of enthusiasts.
So for Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Dowdett. This has been, of course, Matt Farah in his Lamborghini Countach. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
What's your dream car? Post a comment below. Also, be sure to like and share our videos. We have a lot more coming up from this very shoot, including a full review of that orange NSX with special guest Larry Casilla.
One Acura NSX, or do we get like 4 other cars?
From Ammo NYC. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm Ryan Douthit. See you next time. Still kind of hurts.